Hi everyone, today I'm going to be playing the Gallerist, which is a bigger game of buying low and selling high pieces of art, discovering new artists, and storing it here in our gallery to show the world. And I'm going to be playing the solo version of this game. It's a fantastic solo version. And I'm not going to spend too much time going over the rules. I'll explain everything that I'm doing as I do it for the first time. But if you'd like a big explanation of the rules up front, then as always, Watch It Played has got an amazing instructional video for all of the rules of the game. I am playing with a little tweak. It's not much, but I did just pick up the bonus tiles when I was in America, and there are a couple of extra types of bonus tile. It's not a huge difference, but there are basically, when you buy pieces of art normally, they give artists fame, and there are tickets on there, as well as the type of the piece of art. And these are basically, certain ones have no tickets but provide a lot more fame, and there are other types that provide a lot of tickets but no fame. And it's not a huge thing, but it's just nice to throw in for a bit of variety. There are four more in there, where these two are just alternate art and they have the same stats on the back as two other pieces of art, as do these two, and you can make your own art, but my art would be awful, so I will stick with the very nice art that comes with the game. So let's get started. So here we have the actions around our galleries here. So this is my gallery, the orange, and we will be playing against Lacerda, who will basically chase us around the board and kind of disrupt us and advance the end of the game. So at the start of the game, we need to pick where our pawn will go, and this determines which bonus tile we'll get. It also determines the first action that you won't be taking, because you're going to have to move your pawn somewhere and it can't stay where it is. So the bonuses that we have on there are, we will get extra money, and money is points, and influence at the end of the game for every reputation tile we have, and that's what these are that we are starting the game with. We can get money for every brown investor in our gallery, and I'll just say at the start of the game, we start off with one visitor in our lobby. In our gallery, it would be down here. And this is a collector. The white ones are collectors. This would give bonus money and influence for everything that we are displaying in our gallery at the end of the game. And this will give us money and influence for every type of art that we've acquired. No matter what we've done with it over the course of the game, every different type we've got. And this would be a good time to show the goals for the game. So at the start of the game, you get given a curator and a dealer card. The curator card shows the bonuses you can get for having certain works of art displayed in your gallery at the end of the game, and these bonuses can be obtained by selling certain pieces of art. So I need to get a certain amount sold for the solo game, because this is about getting a high score, but it's also about us achieving certain objectives. If we take a quick look at the rulebook here, it shows the goals that we need to win the solitaire game. So to win at the most basic level, the apprentice level, I need to achieve at least one of each of the curator and art dealer goals. So that's anything that's on these cards. I just need to fulfill one on each card, and that can be as basic on the dealer card as just selling one painting. I need to have at least 4 reputation tiles, and remember, I start with 1 at the beginning of the game. Well, I don't start with it, but it will be easy to obtain. I need to acquire a masterpiece, and a masterpiece is a piece of art that has been created by a celebrity, and we will get celebrity status hopefully for some of our artists along the way. And also have at least 160 money. So there is a points requirement, but there are a lot of different things that go into getting each rank. And if you go for the top rank and miss, you won't necessarily just automatically get a lower down one, because there are different things as those ranks go up, as you can see on that page there. So I think I am going to be going for this curator goal here, which means I'm going to have 4 pieces of art in my gallery at the end of the game. And so I am going to place my pawn here and take this as my starting reputation tile, because if I'm going to have at least 4 in the gallery at the end of the game, that's 12 money and 4 more reputation. And this bonus tile goes on your gallery here in this middle space. And as soon as you get 3 works of art in your gallery, this gets unlocked and put down here with the rest of your reputation tiles. And now the rest of the reputation tiles for the start of the game are gone forever. But we can acquire more by coming to this international market, which I will be doing soon. So now it's time to pick my first action of the game, and there are 4 action spaces that you can pick. I can't pick the one that I started on, so I'm going to have to go somewhere else. I can come to the media center to promote artists, make them more famous and make their paintings more valuable. This is probably better once I've got a painting by an artist, and we start the game with 1 discovered artist. That's a photographer there. I can also hire more assistants there. I start off with 2 assistants on my board, but I have all these available, and hiring them, it costs money, but it can get me certain benefits just underneath the cost there as I unlock more and more. But I only have space for 4. I can come to the international market and I can get more reputation tiles. To do this, I have to have already obtained a piece of art of a certain type that I want the reputation tile from, and I need people in my lobby. So this side just requires 1 person of any colour, and this side needs a collector and either an investor or a VIP. And just as a note, in the solo game as well as the 2-player game, this middle column is just left blank and there is just nobody can go there, even in this part here. But I think for my first action, I am going to come to the sales office up here. Now, whenever you move your pawn, then you get to leave an assistant behind. And I will do this. I've got 2 available assistants. I might have to move him later. And I can just place him in the space that I came from. And later on, when Lacerda is spinning around the board as he does, if he kicks out my assistant, I can take a bonus action. I have the option to take a bonus action. So now we are at the sales office. I have 2 options here. I can take a contract, which gives me a contract. Somebody wants to buy a piece of art, and the type of art is determined by the symbol on the middle of the card there, and there is a bonus action that you can take by placing one of your assistants on that space. The other thing you can do is sell art, which obviously we can't do right now, but you need to come here to do that, and you need to have a contract as well as a piece of art of the corresponding type. So we're here at the contract section, and I want to get some 3D art. Since my dealer card here wants me to sell 2 to get 10 points, and I would like to display one in my gallery at the end of the game as well, it would be nice to get started on 3D art. And there is one right here. I have the option, before I take anything, to draw 4 new ones, and they stack on top of these. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to grab this, and the space gets refilled. And now I can place this in one of my contract spaces, and this only happens the very first time that you take a contract on a certain space. And you're going to get a ticket of your choice, really. And I think I am going to place it on here and grab a white ticket. And tickets are used to get visitors from the plaza to your lobby and from your lobby to your gallery. And since I have a white collector in my lobby, I would like a ticket to be able to get him into the gallery. So as well as the location action, which is what I did by moving my pawn to a location and doing one of the 2 things there, that was the location action, I can do an executive action. And the executive actions are spend as many tickets as you want to move as many people as you like, or I could place an assistant on this contract, and this symbol means I can get another contract. For now, I am just going to use this white ticket, and I am going to move this collector from my lobby to my gallery. And the ticket I used goes in a discard pile because these tickets are a timer for the game. When these run out, the game is over. So now, after our first turn, Lacerda is going to come onto the board. He goes onto the opposite space to you, and every time I have done my action, he is going to move clockwise around the board, leaving assistants behind every time that he does. And he never does anything apart from when he gets to the international market. If you ever kick out Lacerda or one of his assistants, then you have to discard a ticket from the stack with the most. And this is basically going to accelerate the end of the game. So there was no need to leave my assistant behind because my action now is I want to come to this sales office. So I can choose to bring people back if I want to, but either way, I will leave it in the place that I just came from. So hopefully I can get a kicked out action. I can show you what one of those is. So I have come to the artist's colony, and here I can either discover a new artist or I can buy a painting from an artist. Now, I don't think I want to discover the 3D artist just yet, just because his bonus for discovering him is going to get me money based on the collectors and investors in my gallery. And at the moment, I would only get 1 money for that. So I think I'm just going to buy a piece of art. The only art that's available is from this photographer, but that's okay because I do need to sell a picture and have 2 in my gallery. So working with this artist is good for me as well. So to buy a piece of art, we can come to the handy player aid. So we need to pay the cost of the artwork. The cost of the artwork is on the artist here. This artist starts at 1, so it only costs 1 money, and I start with 10. Costs 1 money to buy a piece of art from her. Next, send visitors from the art tile to the plaza. There are visitors on any art tiles with tickets on, and these guys will get sent off to the plaza in the middle of the board. Increase fame of artist. On the bottom left of the art tile here, we increase the fame of the artist, 2 stars, plus 1 for every collector in my gallery. So another 1, so she's at 4. She has gone from her art being worth nothing, and she's nearly at 2 stars to where it would be worth 8. So I spent 1 for something that was originally worth nothing, and now it's going to be worth 5, I believe. So, receive tickets printed on work. Now I can take any 2 tickets, they just have to be different. And I think I will take a brown and a pink. Next, flip tile to gallery side and place on your player board. And you have to place pieces of art in your gallery as far left as they can go. So you can't just place it straight here and get that reputation tile. Then track value of work with signature token. We take 1 of the photographer's signature tokens and it gets placed at the value that that artist has reached. So she hasn't quite reached 2 stars yet, she's at 1 star. So that photo that I bought for 1 money is now worth 5 if I were to sell it. But hopefully we can make her a little bit more famous before we do, and it'll be worth even more money. For my executive action, I think I will use both of my tickets. Let's discard them and let's bring a VIP and an investor into my lobby. Now it's Lacerda's turn. He is going to move clockwise, leaving behind an assistant, and he is now going to do an action at the international market. And he is basically going to take these tiles away from me. He starts in the top left, so one of his assistants is going to go here, and this tile is permanently gone for the rest of the game. And he works in a certain pattern. He's going to go here, and then he's going to come to the top left of the international auction rather than the reputation place. And then he will go to this corner and then down here, and then work his way down. Then he'll go to the second row, and so on and so on. And I don't know if I mentioned the international auction. This is a place where we can go. It's the same requirements as getting a reputation tile, but you also spend money. You're going to get a little bonus, and the person who has spent the most here at the end of the game will get this lovely piece of 3D art, which could be just what I need to get my bonuses at the end of the game. So that's Lacerda's turn. So now it's my turn. And I think I would like some more assistants. So I'm going to come down here, leaving an assistant behind. And I have kicked out Lacerda, so I'm going to have to discard a ticket, but that happens after my turn. Okay, so I am not going to increase the fame of an artist. I could do that. It would cost me 1 reputation, and I would get a ticket for it, and the artist would get more famous, but I'm going to hire some assistants. And I'm definitely going to hire 2, because I want that brown ticket to get the investor into my lobby, into my gallery. So I'm definitely going to hire 2. Should I hire a 3rd one? It would mean I wouldn't have to come here quite so soon. I think so. So I'm going to spend 5, but this is a good time to show. At any time in the game, you can come to your reputation track here. Anytime you're spending money, you can get a discount by moving down to the next coin symbol on here. So basically I can get a 1 discount for moving my reputation down to here. I can get a 2 discount from moving it here, 3, 4. So in total of 4 discount I could get from 10 reputation. But I don't want to use all of it. But I'm going to be getting a kicked out action that I will show you soon. And when you get a kicked out action, you have to move your reputation down to the next star. So it's going to cost me 5 to do a kicked out action. So it's in my interest to get a 1 discount on these assistants, just so I'm not spending as much reputation on the kicked out action that you'll see soon. So that's going to cost me 4 money. So I have 5 left. And these 3 shiny new assistants come down to here. And I've only hired 3, so there's a space, because there are these assistants on the board that are going to be coming off at some point. As a bonus for getting these assistants, then I can grab a brown ticket and a pink ticket. And now I can do my executive action. So I can either spend these tickets and get some people into my gallery or lobby, which isn't great yet, because I want to do that basically before I discover the next artist. But I don't think I'll do it right now. I think actually now would be a good time to do the action on my contract. And this basically lets me take a contract action. And there is one out on the board that I would like right now. And it's this photograph contract. And this is basically going to come down to here. I think I would like another brown ticket. And I refill the gap up on the board there. So there's another one. That's quite nice. And this is basically to sell this piece of art that I've got here. Hopefully though, I don't know if I can, but it would be nice to increase the photographer by 1 so she goes up to 2 stars, but we'll see how that goes. Now for Lacerda's kicked out action, he goes away, but I have to discard a ticket from the pile with the most, and I believe that that is the white tickets. So it's Lacerda's turn now. He is going to move clockwise and kick me out, which is important in a second, but he leaves behind an assistant at the international market. So he doesn't do anything here. I get a kicked out action. And to do that, I need to spend down to the next star level to do a location action. So I can basically act as if I came here myself on my turn and do one of the 2 actions, but I need to spend 3 influence to do that down to the next star level. I can though do an executive action, so either spend tickets or put an assistant on this contract for free. I don't need to spend influence to do that. And I'm actually going to take this opportunity to do an executive action. I am going to use an assistant here and place them on this contract, and I can either take a VIP or an investor and place them straight into my gallery. And I am going to do that with a VIP. So my assistant comes back to the office, so I've still got 2 there, and it is time for my turn. So I'm going to be moving from here, so I will leave an assistant behind, and I think I will buy another piece of art. So my assistant doesn't stay here anymore, but I'm going to buy a work of art from the photographer for 4. So that costs me, I've got 1 money left. And we do the same. Actually, I forgot a little step. When the new art is revealed, you need to randomly draw a visitor from the bag, and you do that for as many tickets as there are on the art. So we're going to go through the same stages that we went through before to buy another photo from this artist. See, that guy goes into there. We increase her fame by 1 because I have 1 collector in my gallery. And I can only have 1. There is a limit of 1 plus the number of pieces of art that you have sold. So I then get a ticket. I think I would like to grab another pink so I can get those VIPs in there. Okay, and then this goes into my gallery. I can take the second signature tile, and these are now both worth 8, which is great. And for the new piece of art, we need to randomly get a visitor out of the bag. And it's a collector, that's nice. And for my executive action, I'm going to spend all these tickets. So I'm going to get a VIP and an investor straight from the plaza to my gallery, because I spent 2 of each. So 1 to go into the lobby, 1 to go into the gallery. And now Lacerda is going to move along here, and he is going to kick me out. And there isn't an executive action that I can do. I have no tickets and I have no free spaces on here. These guys will stay here until these contracts are fulfilled. So do I want to give up 3 influence for a kicked out action? Yes, I do. And so I can either buy another piece of art, but that's not very attractive, and I can't afford it. So I'm going to discover a new artist. And that is going to be this 3D artist here. Now, for discovering him, I get this bonus. So I get 2 money for every investor in my gallery and 1 for every collector. So that's 3 money in total. And then we have to grab a cube to mark the starting reputation of this artist, which is 4 for this 3D artist. I take the signature token and I put it in my commission space, and this is special. Whenever I buy a work of art from this artist, I'm going to be able to buy it for his starting value no matter how much his fame has gone up. But also, I cannot discover another artist until I have bought something from him. And then my pawn goes back to my gallery. And this is interesting because I can now place it anywhere. I could just go straight back to where I was before. I think since I have just the right amount of money, I think I am going to go to buy a piece of art. I'm going to buy some 3D art from my new artist here. It costs me 4 because I'm kind of wasting the commission because his value hasn't gone up yet. This is a special work of art. His fame is going to go up 3 plus 1 for my collector, so it's going to go up 4. And you see there, he is now on 8, nearly on 3 stars. So I can put that on 2 stars as well. So now I have 3 pieces of art that are worth 8 each. That's very nice. And there are no tickets to be gained or visitors to go into the plaza because this didn't have any. And this is going to go into my gallery. And now I have unlocked this reputation tile. And I can place this anywhere. I get a bonus depending on which space that I put it on. So I can either get some reputation based on the people in my gallery, some money as you saw before. I can increase the fame of an artist for every collector, but I'm probably better off waiting for that until I've got more than 1 collector in my gallery. I can gain an assistant for free, I can grab 2 different tickets, or I can get anybody straight into my gallery. I'm about to get a kicked out action, and you don't really want to be on 5 for a kicked out action, because it's going to cost you 5 to have that action, like it's going to cost me 5 to do the fame of the artist. So I think we should just get a 2 discount, 1-2 discount on the work of art, because then we will earn 5 reputation, and the kicked out action will only cost 1. So I will be at 1 reputation right there for buying the work of art. So that only cost me 2 instead of 4. I'm placing it on here. Whenever you do this, you need to send somebody out from your lobby here. So I will just send out this investor. And I gain the bonus, which is 2, 4, 5 reputation. So I'm now at 6, and this is going to be very nice for the kicked out action that's coming my way. I also have now secured my first reputation tile, which is going to give me bonus money and influence at the end of the game. My gallery, on the other hand, is full. I can't use this space until there is a celebrity. So, well, until there is a masterpiece to put there. So, I need to get selling, really. Finally, I kicked out Lacerda. So, I need to discard a ticket, and I believe it's white again that has the most. Lacerda's turn. He is going to come over here. He is not going to leave an assistant behind because I am standing in the way. And he is going to do whatever he did there, and he's going to kick me out. So I am definitely going to do a location action, since I have no executive actions to do still. So it's going to cost me 1. And do I want to promote an artist or hire more assistants? Well, I don't have much money. I can't even afford an assistant. I would have to subtract from the reputation track still, and it would gain me 5. So maybe it is worth doing that. I would spend all of my money and move my reputation down there, and then my reputation would go back up to 9. But I don't think I want to do that. Let's just promote somebody. And to promote an artist, you look at their current promotion level here. So this artist has 0, and the 3D artist has 1. So to promote this photographer, say, she needs the 1 to be placed on her next, which costs 1 reputation. It gains me a ticket of my choice, and it increases the fame of the artist by 1, plus 1 for every collector in my gallery. Now, it's more in my interests to do this with the 3D artists since it would push them to another level. So I'm going to spend 2, so I'm back down to 3 now. I'm going to place this on the 3D artist up there, and their fame increases by 1, 2, which means that this 3D art I've got here now is now worth 11. And my bonus for doing that is to gain another 5 reputation. So I'm now at 8. And that was all for free. That was a kicked out action. So now I think the time has come to sell some art. So I'm kicking out Lacerda, unfortunately. I am going to leave behind an assistant there. And I am going to do the sell action. So I have a contract for either, so I can sell whatever I like. And I need to sell both types to get the bonuses. I think I'll sell the photo. And now this assistant gets returned to me. The photo goes away and I receive 8 money for it. We just put this in a pile to show the things that I've sold. So I'm going to get 8 money and put the signature token back on the artist. Now, somebody in my gallery bought this piece of art. So I'm going to have to send somebody out of my gallery, but I'm going to get a new executive action space to compensate me for that. So I think I'm going to send out a VIP. They go back to the plaza, happy with their purchase. But now I have this executive action where I can gain some more influence. And I think I'm going to use that executive action now and gain 1, 2, 3. So I'm ready for my next kicked out action that should only cost me 1. So now I kicked out Lacerda, so I need to discard a ticket. And the piles are all the same, so we'll just take one out of the brown. Lacerda's turn. He moves along and he is going to leave an assistant behind there. And he is at the international market. Nothing happens when he kicks himself out, but the next place he is going to place somebody is there. So now I think I'm going to come down here again and buy another work of art. I'm going to buy some more 3D art. And so let's grab this here. These guys go into the plaza. The artist fame goes up by 3. 1, 2, 3. And it's now crossed the gold star mark. So the piece of art I already have by him is now worth 14. I think that originally cost me 4. So I have to pay 10 for this work of art, so that's all of my cash. Then I can get 2 different tickets. I'm going to take a pink and a white. And this goes into my gallery in my last available slot again. And I need to place 1 visitor on this new piece of art. So we have another investor there. I'm going to use my executive action to spend these tickets. And I am going to get a collector there and another VIP in my lobby. Lacerda's turn. He leaves behind another assistant and is going to kick me out there. So he doesn't do anything, but I have a kicked out action. I'm going to slide that down there. And since I have no money, I'm going to sell a piece of art. So again, I have the contract here. I'm going to send out another VIP, and so I have that available. I have a new assistant available. I am going to grab 14 money from the 3D art that I'm selling. And now it's not really in my interest to use this. It's only going to get me 1. It would help me get a kicked out action, but it's not that great yet. I need to grab some tickets from somewhere. So that was my kicked out action. My assistant comes back to me, and it's now my turn. I am going to leave an assistant behind in the artist colony there, and I'm going to come over to the international market, which means that Lacerda is about to get another space on here. Now I am going to grab a reputation tile. Now I have obtained 3D art, so I can get from this row. I have a collector and a VIP in my lobby, so I can take from this column, and I'm going to take this here, and this is going to give me points at the end of the game for the number of assistants I have in the auction spaces, which at the moment is 0. I really need to get to work over here. And I decide where to place this, and I need to send somebody out of the lobby. So I'm going to send out 1 of the VIPs, and I'm going to place this here and grab a VIP straight back into the gallery. I also need to place 1 of my assistants from my office in this space on the column here, because there is also going to be bonus points for majority in these columns at the end of the game. Going here also earned me 1 reputation, which is great for the kicked out action that's about to happen on Lacerda's turn. But I did kick out Lacerda, and so we'll get rid of a white ticket, and he is going to take this space here. So it's going to be more expensive for me to get people down in the auction spaces now, because all of the 1 spaces are gone. So my turn, I am going to leave an assistant behind in my space, and I think we should grab another contract. So he will get a ticket discarded at the end of the turn. And I don't need to sell a painting. I need to sell a sculpture, another 3D art, because I've already sold the photo. So a sculpture or a 3D art, and the sculptures there would get me some reputation. That's okay, but I think I'm going to draw 4 more. So no sculptures came out, but I do need to sell another 3D art. And let's grab this one. I was hoping for one that would give me more people in my gallery. So I have covered up this space, which means I can grab a pink ticket. And now I can either use my assistant on one of these spaces, which would gain me at the moment 3 reputation, or I could spend this ticket, which I think is what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend this pink ticket into the discard pile, and this guy is going to go into my gallery, so that next turn I'll be able to make this more effective. I did kick out Lacerda though, which means all of these piles are the same, so let's get rid of that brown one. Okay, so he is going to move clockwise again, and what do you know, he kicks me out. I will spend 1 reputation, 1 influence quite happily to do a kicked out action here. I'm going to discover this painter here. So we get my bonus. I'm going to take a white ticket and a pink ticket, and she starts at 3 fame there, and I will take the commission over there. And that is my whole kicked out action. And I think I'm going to stop there for now. If you'd like to see the rest of the game, then there will be a link for part 2 somewhere on the screen. And I'll see you soon.